Hello everyone. Today we are going to cover the blobs storage. So there is a storage option provided by the Azure. Okay, so you can store your unmanaged disk or unmanaged data in the blob storage. Okay, so who am I? I'm myself Shadab Hasan, and I have 14 years of experience. I am Microsoft certified professional, and these are the below links which you can visit, or you can join our Telegram group, or you can just join our Facebook. And this recording will be uploaded on YouTube. You can just go ahead and just like and subscribe. So what is the blob? So basically, if we talk about the Azure Blob storage, it's whenever we talk about the Azure, any infrastructure or any services which offered by Azure, we must know that how much it can be scaled, how much it will be distributed. Okay, so generally when you talk about any organization that will be having a terabyte of data or petabyte of data which they want to store, okay, and that's not managed data, so it's unmanaged data. Like what do they store? Like image, video, some PDF file. So let's take example of healthcare. Okay, they store patient data in the different format, like for the long duration, they want to store all those data, and it will be the image, video, or any kind of data, and that will be actually huge data which they want to manage. Okay, if we talk about the on-premises now, and if we think about our on-premises architecture, mostly we have one application, we'll store the data in SQL. And what we do, we can store our file in the blob, and we can have the link of the blob in our table. And whenever we want to refer on my website, we can just relate this link with our website, so that whenever you go on website and click on the link, and your image will be downloaded from the blob. So it's a simple scenario. Like currently, if you have any application which is storing an image, video, or file, so you can store those image, video file in the blob. Okay, and you will be having a API URL, like it will be simple HTTP URL, which you can store in SQL, and you can refer that in your application. Okay, so when you work on cloud, mostly you just talk about the how much scalable your application is and how much distributed your application will be. Okay, so scaling and distribution, this is the two point which you should consider always. Okay, so when we store huge amount of unstructured data, okay, we are not discussing about the structured data, which is you have the table, storage, and those things. So here we talk about the PDF file, video file, okay. And next is it should work with the role-based access control, like you define your access control on your application, like what level of access the other should have, okay. And another thing, like your application should be consumable, okay. So when like it should give a proper HTTP API URL, so which you can consume from the web application or mobile application. Another thing, your application should be resilient. Means if any failure happens, so your application should be able to cope up with that, or it should come up in after some time. So your application should be scalable, like it should be distributed, and you should have the role-based access, easily consumable, and resilient. So these all the features you should have in your application. Okay, so coming to the Azure Storage, what Azure Storage provides you, like you can have the these all the things which Azure generally provides. You have the file, blob, table, and queue. So first thing, it's showing the disk, like you have the on-premises which you use, like premium storage disk and all those things. And next, a storage account provides the file. File means fully managed file shared, like it will be you access your shared location in your application or on your another server. So that is stored in the file. Next is Blob. Blob is highly scalable REST-based cloud object. So Blob is mainly used for your file and videos. Table is like NoSQL data, which you will be storing the key value pair or something like that. And next is the queue. So these all will be discussing in the further slides. Next is the blob. Okay, so let's see what blobs gives you. Okay, so you have a storage account. You will be creating a storage account. Inside the storage account, you will be having blob. Next is file. Another is table. And next is queue. These all the things you will get inside the storage. So these are the four things which you will be getting inside the storage. Okay, so what is blob? So we are now seeing about this blob. Okay, what blobs provide you? Okay, so these is saying that it's serving image and document directly to the browser. Means you will be getting a HTTP and HTTPS URL which will be supported by the blob. So you can access those in the from your browser or from the application. It's storing a distributed access file from the distributed access, video and audio, logs file. You will be having backup, restore, disaster recovery, and archiving, all those things. So here again, it's saying that it's having the HTTP and HTTPS URL. Okay, so you might heard about the AWS. There will be S3 bucket. Okay, so anyone knows about the S3 bucket in AWS? So that gives you similar feature. You will be creating S3 account, then you will be creating bucket. So here we have the same thing. You'll be creating a storage account, then you'll be creating container, and then you will be using it. Okay. Coming to the storage account, in this model, we'll be discussing about the blob, not about the other storage account. Okay. This picture shows you the similar thing like S3, which I just spoke about. The AWS, you have the S3 account, then you'll be creating a bucket. So here you have a storage account. It's the example has been given as a media. You can create a storage account. Then you have the container inside the storage account, like it can be image, video, and then you have a blob. Blob is nothing like a file which you will be storing. Okay, so why we need container? Okay, why inside the storage account directly we can save this file? Okay, so container is like a folder structure which you can define a security level over the container. Okay, so you can give the access, like you want to give anonymous access to container, or you want to restrict the access of the container, you want to restrict the blob access, and or what level of access you want to restrict. So all those you can manage from here.
Also, Shadab, sorry to interrupt. Also, you can restrict in the blob level also.
Yeah, you can restrict your blob level also. We'll see that. Over the SAS token we will be having. So over the blob level as well, you can restrict. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So inside the blob, we have three types of it gives us three types, and you can have a block blob, append blob, and page blob. Okay, what is block blob? Block blob is ideal for media file, like you can upload and download image, video, block by block. Like take example of YouTube. When you watch a YouTube video, it's just a buffer. Okay, so what it does, it's in background, it's downloading a block, small pieces of the videos, and then it's plays. It doesn't download complete video and then it's play. Okay, so that is the example of block blob. So you will be downloading or uploading blockwise, small pieces. Okay, and then all the things are uploaded, then it will be merged and it will be like committed. Okay, next is the append blob. Append blob is suitable for your log file. Okay, so generally what happened, like it optimized to store your log file. So you just keep writing your log file and it will be added in the at the end. So we'll be seeing this how that works actually. And last is the page blob. What is the page blob is like? So this is storing your storage disk. Okay, like .vhd file. So you will be having a .vhd file which will be stored inside the page blob. Okay, so like take example. Okay, so generally what happening in your on-premises, like currently, you have a virtual machine. Okay, generally you create your virtual machine, and you will be having hard disk somewhere stored inside the machine. So generally in cloud, what happens? It's stored separately in a storage account. Okay, so it's getting a okay. So whenever you create a virtual machine, your OS disk, okay, first is your OS disk, and if you are creating you want additional disk, you can take an additional disk while creating a VM, like you can have a disk too. Okay. So what is this? These are all .vhd files. Okay. So generally your virtual machine is referring to this OS disk, and another is this disk. Okay. So these are like stored in outside of your virtual machine. So whenever if you have issue with your virtual machine, you can directly go ahead and take these images and spin up your VM or new VM you can create. So, and this all will be stored in your page blob. So this is what happened in the actual scenario. So this is your page blob inside the storage account. Okay, there is two things. Okay, so when you are, what happens in the cloud, like this is storing in the separate storage account. Okay, so it's completely your call while creating a virtual machine in the Azure cloud. Like you want to store this disk in your storage account, or you want to leave this VHD file with Microsoft managed storage account. Okay, so that is the managed environment which is Microsoft is having, which gives you ability, like they only will manage this disk. You don't have to manage, or you give your this path to your storage account and you manage this. So that you will be seeing in the like while creating a VM. Okay, so you want to store in the managed disk or unmanaged disk. Okay, so these are the two things which you will be come to know when you will learn about the virtual machine. Okay, so in case if you anything is happening, like if you are storing in your storage account, so means that you have to manage, you have to take the backup, you have to create a replica for that. So all you will be managing inside your storage. Managed disk means Microsoft will take care of all those environment and they will keep your data safe. Okay, so we saw that there are three types: block blob, append blob, and page blob. First is the block blob. Okay, so what is the block blob like? It's you can say how much huge this is. Like single block blob will have 100 MB of data. Okay, so it will be up to 100 MB into 500 blocks. So ideal of the data that can be stored in block up to 100 MB of chunk. And a single blob can include up to 5,000 blobs. So if you multiply these two, you will be coming around 5 TB. Okay, so in 5 TB, there'll be around 0.25 TB will be storing some metadata, which will be internally for the Azure. So you will be getting around 4.75 TB of the storage for the single file. So this is the single file we are talking about. So 100 MB, up to 100 MB of chunk, and then 5,000 blocks. Okay, so you will be storing 4.7 TB of the single file, okay, in the blob. Okay, and another thing, within one subscription, okay, you can have 200 within a storage account, you can have 200 of a storage account you can create within one subscription, and into you will be having 500 TB of data you can store in the one subscription. So this is how big is blob, and one file will be around 4.75 TB. So this is how you can do that. So when you are doing operation of the blob, each block can be a different size. It can be up to 100 megabyte, and it can go up to the 4 MB of request. And next, if you come to the append blob, so append blob size will be around 4 MB max, and which includes 50,000 blocks again. So you can have around 195 GB. Okay, so one file can have up to 195 GB, 4 MB into 5,000 blocks. Okay, so what is the benefit you are getting in the append blob? Append blob is optimized for append operation. Okay, so you will be doing here like appending the logs. Generally, this is made of the log. Like updating and deleting on existing block is not supported. When you added something in the append block, you can't go and update or delete. Okay, generally whenever we store the logs, we don't want to delete or update. Okay, so that will be as it is. So we'll be using only for reading. And whenever you add new block, it will be added at the end, okay, of the existing block. So this is the feature you will be getting in the append block. And last one is the page blob. Okay, page blob is again, it's optimized to store your hard disk .bhd file. Okay, it can have max of 8 TB. Okay, if you are storing any hard disk, that could be max of 8 TB. That's a max size limit which is with the page blob you have. Okay, so this is mainly stored for like virtual hard disk you can store here. Okay, okay, so coming to this okay, so here we see that this gives you an option to store your storage account or data to locally redundant, zone redundant, geo redundant, or geo redundant. So we'll understand what is this actually. Okay, first thing on the top level, like we have geography. Okay, so complete world we have. Then it comes like here you are okay. Here you have East US. And let's suppose here you have Central India. And then inside the Central India or East US, you have multiple data center. Okay. You have DC1, DC2, DC3. Okay. So inside the DC again, what you have? You have the multiple zones, which is called as availability zone. Okay. This is like zone. Okay. So each zone, if you expand this zone, okay, will have some racks. Server with, like, it will be stored with your servers, and racks will be there. Okay. And then it will be created like this. Okay. So these are the servers and racks. Okay. So let's suppose that I have a data which is stored in 10 TB of data. It is stored in this Central India DC2 zone, in this zone. Okay. In this rack or servers. Okay. So what this is saying me, okay, local LRS. So I'll store your data in the 3 replica in one region. Okay, whenever you are creating a storage account, it's when you select LRS, okay, so that means it's creating the 3 replica in one region. Protects against disk node rack failure. Okay, write is acknowledged when all replica is committed. Okay, what is happening? Okay, whenever I do write operation, it's internally maintaining my 3 replica inside this zone. Okay, so let's select. Let's see. Okay. So somewhere in this data center, it is maintaining my 3 replica. Whenever application is trying to write something, okay, this is my application, and it's trying to write something in the storage account, it will commit for all these 3. Then only it will give me the successful result. So it's synchronous, or immediately it will be committed in all the storage, like 3 replica, and you will have the data ready with you. Okay, so this is the LRS. Okay, what happened when this zone gone down? Like this is gone down. Okay, or this data center has gone down. So you will not be having the like your data will be gone, or if they are maintaining some backup on the another region, then you can have it stored, restored or something. Okay, so what happens if my one rack is going down? Okay, if this rack is going down, then you have data in another rack. Okay, if this rack is going down, you have data in another rack. That feature you will get in the ZRS. Okay, so it protects against the disk node and rack failure. Next is the zone redundant, ZRS. 3 replica, okay, in 3 zone, okay, one in within the one region, okay, protects against disk failure, node, rack, and zone failure. Okay, now we are having 3 zones within the one data center. Now in this ZRS situation, you will be storing in data in the 3 zones. In fact, this 1, 2, and 3. So your data is stored inside the 3 zone. So if one zone has gone down, you have still the data in another zone. So that features comes from the ZRS. Next is the GRS. Okay, GRS, like this gives you feature like it will be creating a 6 replica in the 2 regions. Okay, so generally Microsoft always creates a region pair, like 2 region pair, like Central India and South India, East US and West US. Like they'll be having a region pairing. So if you search on Google, you'll find the region pairing for the Azure cloud. Okay, so what they do, they create a 6 replica, 3 in the primary region, 3 in the secondary region. Okay. Okay, so you will be having 6 replica in the 2 regions. Okay, 3 per region, protects against major region disaster. Okay, let's one region has gone down, still you have data in another region. So this is the GRS. Fourth option you have RAGRS, read only geo redundant. What happens when you are see, in this feature, what happens when you having the secondary copy ready, you can't go and access the secondary copy till some disaster happen on the primary. Okay, so when primary is some disaster happen and you are not able to access, you have to like switch back to the secondary and you will be having access to that. But in the RAGRS, you will be writing or using the primary region, okay, but you will be having read-only access to the secondary region. You will not be able to write because this updates happen on async level. Okay, so async level, when the updates happen, so means you will be having some latency, like 5 minutes or whatever the you configure the replication. So based on that, you will be having some of the lagging on the data. But you in RAGRS, you will be having the secondary region for your read purpose. Okay, like suppose why we need this read-only access. When you talk about any shopping site where you have the catalog ready, so you can go ahead and read catalog detail region. Okay, so which you are not updating frequently. So you don't have the full load on primary region. You will be distributing little load on the secondary region, which you will be using for the read purpose. So these are the options you will be getting while like configuring the storage account, like creating a storage account. What feature? See, the LRS says that we have the provides the durability of 11 nines, 99.99999. So 11 nines. If you talk about the GRS, it provides the 16 nines, 99.99999. So it's like this much Microsoft guarantee you the uptime and the durability of your storage account. Next, another option which we have here, like this is the multi-region. Okay, so geography level, again you have this zone redundancy. Like you have seen this this feature, and another you are getting another region which is the available on the geographic level, like on another country or anything anywhere else you will be storing those. So again, this will be secondary region you will be having. So that is called GZRS, geographically zone redundant storage. Okay, so this is the another level of storage you see here. So any doubt in this you have till now?
This storage, basically, which organization means the banking systems they will prefer the last options, or is it because that is accessible everywhere in the region wise also.
Yeah, that can be happen, but if you talk about the banking option, so India banking, they will not going to store on another region or another geographic location maybe. So they have to think if you are going outside of boundaries, so there'll be again some law again rules applies, like if you go for the US citizens or US data, they will not store in the some of the region. Okay, so that wise you have to see that if they have no restriction and their uh, regional law permits you to store data, or your organization is fine to store data in the another region, it's fine. Okay, so but see, the region disaster, it's like very less. Okay, so if it's fine, like regional pair, if you have the same data stored in Central India and South India, so I think you will be fine with that. Means as per your requirement, maybe for if you are in India and you want to have some data secured. Okay, so you will not be having disaster in same time in Central India and South India. Okay, so that but may you can have that.
In that
Okay, but
scenario, if
some
that both the centers having some issues, so that scenario there will be option.
Yeah, so if the both region, then you will be go for this like multi-region. So this is providing you the multi-region, where you will be selecting your data on the another region as well. So you will be going outside of boundary then. Okay,
Mm-hmm. So
again that
based on this one, maybe the pricing will be
correct,
decided.
correct. So generally, when you query the storage account, the pricing occurs like whenever you read the data, it price will differ. Okay, so that will come on the next. We'll see that. Okay. So I'll just go to the portal and I'll show you. Okay. Uh, so here we have a storage account. I'm clicking estimate. Okay. See, here you have two options. Okay, so a standard and premium. When we go for a standard, it's saying that it only supports the page blob. Okay, so if we want all the options like blog, append, files, then we have to go for standard. Then here you have account type, like you have the blog storage, then you have the general purpose V1, then we have the general purpose V2. So there'll be enhancement which they have created. Now latest is this general purpose V2. And here comes the replication. Okay, so what kind of replication you want? Locally redundant, zone redundant, geo redundant. So those all you have to select. Okay, now I'll select locally redundant and just go to networking. So this is the some of the networking feature which is provide generally private endpoint, public endpoint. So all those you can go ahead and choose. Again, you have the data protection here. You can configure all those things. What kind of soft delete, share, file share, all those options you have for here. You can configure from here. And these are the some of the options. Let it create. Okay, so till the time it's getting created, we'll go through the slides. Okay, so you can see here a storage tier. Okay, so we have the options like you can configure your storage account to be hot, cold, and archive. Okay, and another is premium. Premium is low latency like configuration. Another is hot, like your data you are trying to access frequently. Okay, so very frequent, like daily basis, or always you are trying to access your data, so you will choose your hot. And then you have the cold. like you at least for 30 days, like cold storage is optimized for storing data that is infrequent access. Okay, so you don't access for at least for 30 days. You just, then you can keep it for cold, like some of the data which you don't access for 30 days, it's more than 30, so you move those data from hot to cold. Another thing, like archival. So like if you are not using a data for more than 180 days and you don't use frequently, so you move to archive and keep it for the longer time. Okay, so this gives you. And another thing, that the cost factor also occurred here, like if you are keeping the data in the hot storage, okay, it may cost more. If you are moving it to cold, it will reduce the cost. And again, if you're moving to archive, it will again reduce the cost. So here you can see here pricing, like it's showing the per GB per month pricing. Okay, when this side is higher, this side is lower. Okay, so storing the data in the archival will cost you low, but if you are storing the data in the hot tier or premium tier, it will cost more. So after that, cold, and then lowest will be the archive. So this is the telling about the pricing. Okay, but if you are storing your data in the cold, okay, and you need to access now, okay, then you have to pay the more price to access those data. Okay, so in a storage account, when you try to access the data, you have to also pay, not even the storing the data, as well as when you are trying to read the data, there'll be some cost will occur. Okay, so how much traffic it's moving on the internet, and how much data you are trying to read. So based on that, also the pricing changes. Okay, so not only simply you are storing 10 GB, you will be paying for 10 GB. Also, when you are reading the data, that cost also occurs. So operational cost will be higher.
Then what
Next,
will go for archive?
archive means you don't want to access for a longer time, like some logs which is the more than 1 year, and you don't want to use frequent basis, you store in archive. Okay, and let's suppose that sometime when it's required, then only will refer, correct? So like that. Okay, so when it's required, we'll try to access. It occurs the little cost, but yeah, when it's urgent, we'll try to read those data like that. Otherwise, we don't want frequently want to read those things like that.
Shadab, how do we organize this
Yeah,
type
we'll
of?
see that. Yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
Next is the lifecycle management. Like this is the which you just asked, the how we'll manage these. A lifecycle management policy you have to define, like you want blob to store how many days, like you move from hot to cold, cold to archive, archive to delete. That also possible. So you have to create a rule, okay, like policy you have to create, and then you will be making all those things. Okay, and so you just need to define all these rules. Okay, welcome. So here you can see here, it's moving hot to cold, cold to archive, again hot to archive, you can directly also move, and then you can also plan for delete. So these are the life cycle management which you have to do for your storage, because some data like older logs and older file which you don't want for 1 year old or 2 years old, you don't need those things. Okay, so this is the what things are. Okay, we'll go to the, hopefully it has been created. Okay, go to the resource. Okay, so this is my storage account, which gives me the feature to create a container, file share, table, and queue. We are not going to discuss these 3 points now, but we'll see if we get time, or we can refer this. Now we're discussing about this container, which is the blob. Okay, So how to access this storage account? As you know, we have in Azure, there's one common thing, which is access key. Okay, either you can use this access key or you can use a connection string. Generally, Azure provides you two by default two. Okay, like if you have the policy to change your password or key in some days, you can go ahead and refresh. It generates the new key for that. Okay, so that you have to use. So these you will be using an application to access our storage account. Okay, but we have only two. Okay, so that we'll see again how we can generate more, or like we have 10 different applications which we want to store in a account, here, because this is the primary key and this will have the full control on your storage account. Okay, you can do anything with this key. Okay, so we'll see how we can generate a specific key. Okay, and then you have the geo replication here. Okay, this actually gives you where your data is stored and how your relation, like we had the geo replication on those. You can really see here how your data is moving from one location to another location, how that relationship happens. So all those you can create another one like geo replication or see, and how that works. Okay, so that you can do it later on. Okay, next coming to the lifecycle management. Here you can add the rule. Okay, if you want to learn more, there will be always some link will be given here, so you can always refer and read all those points. Okay, so which will help you to understand more. Okay, so you can click on add rules. Okay, so I'm just writing here test rule. Okay, so here it's asking me apply this rule for all blobs in the storage account. So I'm writing this rule for all the storage account blobs, or you want to limit this. If you put this limit, you can see here filter set is coming. So in the last step, you will be entering your blob name. Okay, so that also you can do a specific to blob or a specific to a storage account. Okay, which type, for the blob or append blob, both you want, or only for blob you want? Okay, based on blob. Okay, based on version you can do, based on snapshot you can do. There are multiple options. Okay, so here it's saying me what you want to do. If last modified is 30 days, then move to the cold storage. And if it's more than 60 days, move to archive. If more than 365 days, delete this. So if anything which is not modified or accessed, this is last modified, more than that time, so it will just delete those. Or 30 days it will move to the cold, 60 days it will move to archive, and 360 days it will move to delete. And this rules is added. So like this, you can create multiple tools and you can manage your life cycle of the blob. Okay, so this is what is the rule. Okay, so I'm
So
just
here we are
now.
touching this scenario. We are touching cool, hot, and everything. Correct. So how the costing will be factored like this? It would be how the data we are moving from one tier to another tier.
Yes, internally it's managing the within this storage account, it will be creating the different tier for you. So that is the internally managed here.
Getting the tier. So the billing will be how much data is there from moving from one tier to another tier, or how it will be. They will.
Yeah. So like you will be moving like 10 GB data to a cold. So from that time onwards, you will be charged for the cold storage.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay. And when you go and access that, again the some access price will be charged over that. So like that it will be. But from moving to the hot to cold, it will be reducing the sunk cost on that. So you will not be using frequently. So you are moving to the cold or archive. Okay. So this is the container. Here we can create container. Okay. Container, like I am going to create some video. Maybe smaller. So this container which you are creating, you want to give access to private. Private means no one will be able to access this. Blob level, like no one will have the access to container. They will be having to blob and they will be able to read those blob. Okay. If I'll give on container anonymous access to read access for container and blob. So they can access container as well as the blob. Okay, so I'm just giving this. Then create. So a container has been created. Now I go inside and you can upload here any video file. You can go here. I have this sample image. Select. So here it's asking me what kind of authentication you want to give. You want to give access to only your Active Directory user, or you want to give access based on the account key. So we have seen the account key there. Okay. So based on the key, they can read and write on this. Okay. Next, what is this? Blob, page blob, or append blob. If you talk about the page blob, it will ask me to upload the VSD file. Okay. Uploading VSD file is recommended in page blob. We should not use the blob. Append blob is again for the writing. So we are uploading video files, we'll take a blob. This is the block size which I am talking about. Okay. So when video streaming happen, okay, what blocks of size you want to configure here? Okay, 4 MB till 100 MB you have the option. Okay, 1 MB, 2 MB as well it is there. Okay, default will be 4 MB. So the each block size will be the 4 MB. Here I'm selecting hot, cold, and archive. Okay, I want to store in hot. And this again you can define a structure of the folder. Okay, my video. Okay, you can see here this image has been uploaded. I just copy this, go to ignore. This video is playing. Okay, why this video is playing? Because I have given the access level on this storage account for this blob is the blob anonymous read-only access. If I'll change this to private, I'll not be able to access. Okay, so you will be restricting this level of access here. Okay. So like this, you can maintain your storage account here. Any doubt?
No doubt, just a quick question. So if any external API is going to place this some of the file over here, this so how will you do that using the key? Or?
Yeah, so if they want to do, they should have this connection string or this key to write in this storage account.
Okay, only key will be sufficient, or
yeah, key will be sufficient. Key or connection string. Yeah.
okay. From external application to they want to place file over here.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. Now we'll see how the code works with the, like we just wanted to write some .NET code and how that will work. So you can see here managing blob property and metadata from codes we can maintain, like we can define some prefix. Uh, there are some different ways to manage. So see the blob container property. So there are property associated with the blob file. So these are the property which by default come like last modified, public access, has legal hold. Some legal hold you can create on some blob, like if you want to use a container like for the specific time, you don't want to change something, so you can create some legal hold on that. So these are the container property which has been mentioned here. Okay, so coming to the like how we can manipulate here. See, like this is a simple code. Okay, for the .NET. Okay, and you can see here first of all that this is the blob client. Okay, you have to inherit like your Microsoft Azure storage account, storage Microsoft.azure.storage namespace to use this. Okay, then you'll be generating the blob client in this. Okay, then you creating a container. Okay, get container reference, that's the image name. If it's not exist, it creates the container. Okay, and then you are trying to fetch the attribute of that. Okay, and then you can read those attributes. So this is a simple codes which trying to create a container if its container is not exist, and then it's try to fetch the data. So from the .NET code as well, you can maintain all those things. Okay, this is the same thing it's happening here as well. So just you can see here, this is like again adding some new metadata. Okay, category. So in your company, if you have some requirement, like if you want to associate your blob to a specific metadata, like you have created your blob for some specific department, you can correlate your department, your metadata or your blob thing with those things. Like you can correlate your blob. You can create your own metadata on that, and you can use those metadata in the further use. Okay, again, this is the one of the thing which is showing here to create a lease. Like you create a lock. Okay, when you want to do access, exclusive access, like you want to modify your block or you want to access for the particular time, so you can create a lease. Okay, on the Azure storage account. So the lease can be created for the 15 to 60 second, okay, log duration, and you can renew the lease. And if you are doing some operation on the blob, okay, so you can create a lease, and during the lease no one else will be able to access or update those things, and you will have the like exclusive access to your blob. Okay, some like administrative work you want to do, so that you can achieve with this. So there is some property which is associated with the lease, like you can acquire lease, renew lease, change lease, break lease. So all those options are there. Okay, so that's it as for the slide. Okay, but I'll show you a few things. First thing, like this is the lab which is associated with this storage account. So you can go through this lab. I'll share these links to you. Okay, how to create a storage account, how to associate your metadata, and all those things. Okay. And another thing I want to share, like there is an AZ copy. Okay. This is the command line utility. Okay, so which you use to copy the data from the one storage account to another storage account. So this is the AZ copy, which is the feature which gives generally this. Sometimes the question comes from AZ and copy as well. So this is a command line utility which copy the blob and files from the storage account. Okay, so this you can go through that. Okay. You have to write the AZ command, and then you will be having source and destination which copy the data. another thing, there is a SAS, shared access signature. Okay, that's what we are talking about. Okay, let's go to the portal. I'll show you. Here in the storage account, shared access signature. Okay, now as Naran has asked, see, whichever application want to write, we have to share this key, but this is the primary key. Okay, and we don't want to give this to everyone because they can do a multiple operation with this as well. Okay, so what will happen, you can create a shared access signature. Okay, so a shared access signature is a URI based access given to the Azure storage. Okay, you can go here and you can learn more about this. Okay, so you can go ahead with this. Okay, so what access I want to give? I want to give access to blob. I want to give access to file, queue, and table. Okay, I want to give access to blob. Okay, what access you want to give? I want to give access of the services, containers, and any specific object that you can do. What operation they can do? They can do read, write, delete, add, create. What they want to do? You can select all these options. Okay. You want to enable for the specific time, that also you can do, or you can enable deletion version. Okay. So this is the permission again. You want to give any start date or end date, that you can specify here, and you can also specify the allowed IP. Like if the request is coming from a specific IP, that you can put it here. And then this is the signing key. Okay, so signing key is your key which is there in the access key 1 or key 2. If you change the key 1, so this SAS also will stop working. So we have to sign this with the signing key. Okay, and then generate a SAS key. You get this connection string. You can share this connection string to any of the application, and they can do this operation only. They can access the blob with for the read only. They will not be able to write with this shared access signature or this token you can give. Okay, so let's copy this token. Okay, and you saw that I was not able to access this URL. Okay, this URL as well, and put it here now. So I have appended this SAS key here, and if I try to access, I should be able to access. Okay, container. This is the private. I'm able to access this. Okay, so what we have did, you can go here and read about this. Okay, so we are not using the original access key, we have created a SaaS token and we have used that shared access signature. So you can define your expiry date and what operation you need, and based on that, you can share this with the other application. So like you have 10 application, 100 application which you want to access the storage account, and based on that, you can create a multiple SaaS key, and you can create and give it to them. So this way you can restrict your storage account as well. So any doubt till now?
Finally, by allowing all the types, you could able to read that file, right? That resource type, you enable service.
Yeah. Yes. Allowed resources, because I think we are using services now. So via the services, it should be allowed.
Okay, in a hierarchy way, service is at the top level, right? So if we check service alone, I think we can able to read that file.
And then you have the Storage Explorer also here, which is in the preview. Okay, so we can expand here and we can see as well. This is Storage Explorer, you can download. There is the software comes from for the Storage Explorer as well, so which you can download on your local, and you can access using your account. Okay, and you can see here this same Explorer you can see in your local as well.
Yes. Can we access everything from API? Hope we can do it.
Yeah, of course. Okay, there is another thing which I want to show you here. There is a small application which is there. I just downloaded from net only.
Okay.
Okay, here is the getting shared access signature. Okay, this you can download. This is a complete .NET application. Okay, which helps to generate a SaaS key. Okay, and you can maintain here like. Someone has asked you to create a SaaS key, so you don't have to go to portal directly. You can give your connection string here, and this application helps you to generate SaaS key, and you can give it to the others. Okay, get container SaaS URI, blob SaaS URI. Okay, shared access policy. You can create your own shared access policy, whatever you want to do, and based on this, you can manage your all the application, and you can generate SaaS key and you can share with them. So this is like from the .NET API you will be able to manage. So only you have to give here the storage, change the storage account key, and you should be able to do that.
Nice.